new unit, our last unit for the year, is all about rational expressions, rational equations. Remember, rational numbers just means fractions, okay? So today we're going to talk about simplifying rational expressions, multiplying them, and dividing them, okay? So let's start with rational expression. So rational expression, like I said, is a big fraction, okay, with some variables, some numbers, some polynomials, okay? So something like 4y times y squared plus y minus 12 over y cubed minus y squared minus 6y, okay? What you can't do is just start crossing out stuff right away, okay? So the y squared and y squared don't cancel because you have addition and subtraction in between, okay? So what you need to do is you need to factor first before you start canceling, okay? So remember GCF, big X, slide divide, bottoms up kind of stuff, okay? Then when you're multiplying, you'll have obviously more than one rational expression. So something like 12c cubed d squared over 21ab on that side times 14a squared b over 8c squared d. Okay, so that's what that's going to look like. Okay. You can also get multiplication where you have to factor first, okay? So if you need to factor, you would factor. In this case, you don't, okay? What happens is you can cancel here right away because we don't have to factor. You can cancel up or down in the same rational expression or diagonally, okay? So you can cancel up and down, so this way, okay? Or you can cancel, like for the A's, you can cancel this way, okay? You cannot cancel across, okay? So don't cancel this way. That's a no-no, okay? So you either go up or down, diagonal, and that's it. Okay. So then when you divide, you get something like 16 mt squared over 21 a4b3 on this side divided by 24m cubed over 7a squared b squared, okay? Before you do anything, you have to flip the second fraction, okay? I mean, you can do this in any order, factoring or flipping, but I would, if you have division, flip the second fraction first, okay? Because you might forget, okay? So flip the second fraction, factor if you need to, okay? And then cancel like you would multiplication. But the main thing for division is to flip the second fraction. So this will change it to multiplication and you would flip just the second one, okay? The first one stays the same, okay? Okay, so let's try some examples. So what if we just had one rational expression and we want to simplify? So x squared minus 16x plus 64 times x plus 2 over x squared minus 64 x squared minus 6x plus, minus 16. Let's clean this up a little bit. So that was x squared and minus 16, okay? So what you want to do is factor, okay? So you got to recognize your factoring patterns here. So x squared minus 16x plus 64 goes to x minus 8, x minus 8. X plus 2 stays the same. X squared minus 64 is x minus 8, x plus 8. And then x squared minus 6x minus 16 with the big X is x minus 8, x plus 2. Okay. So this one's nice because now you can cancel. So the x minus 8s go away, the other x minus 8s go away, and the x plus 2s go away. Okay. And we can cancel these because the operation in between the parentheses is multiplication. Okay. So what are we left with on top? Just 1, because everything canceled, but we're still left with 1, over x plus 8. Okay. What happens now is you need to state what's called excluded values. Okay. So you need to state the values for the variable that will make the denominator 0, and you don't want that to happen, so x is not equal to them. Okay. So therefore, you just look up here before you cancel. X can't equal 8 because x minus 8 would be 0. It can't equal negative 8 because x plus 8 would equal 0. And it can't equal negative 2. Okay? So if it says state the excluded values, you just go back up and say, okay, which x's will make the parentheses 0? Okay? Okay, let's do another one. So what if we have, oops, do a square bracket. So what if we have something like 36 minus x squared? X squared plus 4x minus 32 over x minus 4, x squared plus x minus 42. All to the negative 1 power. Okay, so remember, negative 1 power, that just means flip everything. Okay, since we have basically one big fraction, you just flip the numerator and the denominator. Okay, so then you get x minus 4. Might as well factor at the same time. X plus 7, x minus 6. And then 6 minus x, 6 plus x from 36 minus x squared. And then x plus 8, x minus 4 from x squared plus 4x minus 32. Okay, so we flipped, we took the reciprocal and factored at the same time, okay? So if you need to pause this and just work on the factoring, excuse me guys, then that's okay, okay? So same thing. We can cancel x minus 4, okay? What happens is x minus 6 and 6 minus x are basically the same thing, except you're left with negative 1, okay? And it doesn't matter where you put the negative 1. So if we cancel these, we're going to be left somewhere with a negative 1, okay? So then what are we left with in total? We have negative 1 times x plus 7 over 6 plus x, x plus 8. Excluded values, x cannot be 6, negative 6, negative 8, and 4, okay? So 6 makes that 0, negative 6 makes that 0, negative 8 makes that 0, and 4 makes that 0. So that's where you get those numbers from. And we can't have denominators equal to 0, so those are our excluded values. What do we think, okay? Okay, so now let's look at Oh, sorry. A couple more problems. So let's do multiplication. So what if we have 3ac cubed f cubed over 8a squared b c f to the fourth times 12ab squared c over 18ab cubed c squared f, okay? So you can start any way you want to, okay? Usually I like to start with the numbers, but like I said, you can start with whatever you want to, okay? So 3 goes in 18 6 times. Divide 8 by 4. Divide 12 by 4, okay? And also you can cancel out this 3 and this 6, okay? So remember, you can cancel up and down or diagonal, okay? So now let's look at the variables. So the a and this a can cancel, okay? Then the other a, we're left with 1, okay? For the b's, you cancel out this b, cancel out a b, but then we can cancel out this b, and here we'll be left with b squared, okay? The f's, we can cancel out all 3 of these, left with 1 on there. And then finally the c's will cancel out this way. And then for here, you're left with 1c, okay? So then we get c over 4a b to the second, and then f squared. And then for these, it's easy. A, B, C, F cannot equal 0. Okay. Okay, so let's try division. So what if we have 9x squared yz over 5z to the fourth divided by 12x to the fourth y squared over 50x y 4z squared. Okay, so the first thing to do for your division is to change this to multiplication and then flip this fraction, this rational expression, okay? So 9x squared yz over 5z to the fourth times 50x y to the fourth z squared over 12x to the fourth y squared. So same thing like we did for number 3, we just start to cancel, okay? So 5 goes into 50 10 times, 3 goes into 9 3 times, 4 times here, and then again we can cancel out the 10 and the 4 by 2, okay? So then we get x squared, x to the fourth becomes a 2, x squared here, but then this x and that can go away and we're just left with 1x on the bottom. The y and the y can cancel here, and then the y comes a 3 and that can go away. Z squared can cancel out like so, and then this single z can cancel out with that z, and you get a z on the bottom, okay? So then what are we left with? Well, 3 times 5 gives us 15, and we have a y cubed on top. Then we have a 2xz on the bottom, and then x, y, z not equal to 0. Whew. If you put 2zx on the bottom, that's okay. We just normally do alphabetical, okay? And just be careful of your canceling, okay? Okay, let's do 2 more. So let's look at one where we are multiplying and we need to factor. So x squared minus 6x plus 8 times x squared minus 4x, x squared minus 2x minus 35, okay? So in this case, you can't cancel out anything because you have subtraction and addition in between, okay? So you need to factor. So here are ones that look like this, okay? So then big X gives you x minus 7, x plus 3 there, then x minus 2, x minus 4 times this top right, take out for the big X, okay? So then x minus 7's cancel, your x minus 4's cancel like so, and then I think that's it. So what are we left with? X times x plus 3 on the top, and then x minus 2, x plus 5. And you do want to leave this factored. So don't FOIL, don't distribute, just leave it here, okay? And then all our denominators, x equals, sorry, not equal to 2, not equal to 4, 7, or negative 5. Okay? So if it asks for excluded values, just look at the rational expressions before you cancel and just pull out the x's that would make the denominator 0, okay? Okay, last one. So a squared minus b squared, 3a squared minus 6a plus 3 divided by 4a plus 4b, and then a squared minus 1, okay? So same thing for the division. Here you do have to, but you still have to change that to multiplication and flip the second fraction, flip the second rational expression, okay? I'm gonna factor some of this as we go just to save a little bit of writing, okay? So a squared minus b squared, a plus b, a minus b, okay? 3a squared minus 6a minus 3, take out the 3 as a GCF. You get a squared minus 2a plus 1, which will still factor, times a squared minus 1 is a minus 1, a plus 1, and then take out that 4 for the GCF, okay? This a squared minus 2a plus 1 just gives us 3a minus 1, a minus 1, okay? So we can do that, save some writing. So then, once we factor, we can cancel, okay? So a minus 1's go away, a plus b's go away, okay? So then what's our final answer? A minus b, a plus 1, over 3 times 4 gives us 12, and then a minus 1. A is not equal to 1, and a is not equal to negative b, okay? Because if a is equal to negative b, then that will equal 0, okay? So a is not equal to 1, and then a is not equal to negative b, okay? So there you go. If the excluded values don't really make sense, let's talk about that in class, okay? But hopefully the canceling and the factoring and the canceling is okay, okay? And that's it.